Welcome to this new resource, Today Not Tomorrow. There's a great song that has the line, "What will be, will be." But does the future have to be the same as the past? Could we imagine a different future for the church where children and young people are seen more as part of the whole church community? Could that be a dream for the future? Or actually, could it be today?
A good church should look like a family. It's odd people in it, and there's also sort of like the people that you look up to, and there's then the people that sort of like you laugh and have a joke around with. No church should be too serious, yet not serious enough. A good church should have a range of different music types, from hymns to modern day versions of Christian worship. And no church should be too different. All churches should have the same sort of, we believe in God, we worship God, that's the end. There should be no difference between it. And good church will always put God first.
I think what a church should look like is people that are friendly, people that are proud of being a Christian, and people that are happy to do things for you and happy to help you.
A good church looks like it's always, you could be accepted no matter who you are, and it's just like a big family, and it's based around God, Jesus and the Bible.
I think a good church looks like a whole diversity of races, cultures and backgrounds, where everyone loves each other, welcomes each other, and there's no gossiping and backstabbing and things like that.
A good church should know what they're talking about and not just start going confused and think about different things.
I think a church should share the good news of Jesus and all around the world, and everybody should know. And a good church should have like a family. We should be there for each other, and we should like each other, and a good church should also help other people, maybe in different churches, maybe if you know somebody at home who is feeling quite down, and you tell them about the good news of Jesus.
A good church is like where you can do jobs, no matter how big or small you are.
A good church is a family with people that we can go to when we have problems, but also help us. We can share our happiness with.
A good church has lots of activities for children and adults, and also has people who are proud to be Christians.
I think a good church is a church that is full of love and is biblically based and is centered around Jesus Christ, and also is a church that accepts everyone of every age, race, culture, background, just pretty much everyone.
What a vision. Yet these same children and many others are leaving church when they become young adults.
Over the past few years, the Baptist Union, along with a working group, have been looking at how we disciple children and young people. Much of what we have discovered is that children and young people, through great work within churches, have been entertained and also given a set of rules, but they have not discovered discipleship and faith for themselves, and sadly have moved away and are no longer part of our communities.
We celebrate the thousands of people who give up time to care for and teach our children and young people in our churches week by week. We recognise the love that they have for these children and young people.
Yet young people are sadly still leaving the church. What are we doing wrong? How can we help children and young people to own faith, to become disciples? There's an African proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child. And we believe it takes the whole church community to nurture and disciple faith within children and young people.
TNT, Today Not Tomorrow, is about discipling children in an intergenerational context, empowering children and young people to celebrate faith, to minister and be integral to the church community equally, not at the expense of pushing others out.
This new resource comes in 6 sections which we are encouraging churches to work through to discover how they can themselves become intergenerational communities. The first thing we challenge churches to do is to stop commenting on how it was in the good old days, and maybe not to wait for the future to start doing something different, but to start today, to start encouraging young missionary disciples in the church today.
All age worship. Do you question whether it's just another fad or the latest idea that doesn't seem to work for you?
And then in our churches we have child dedication or infant presentation. You have that lovely moment where the baby is up in front of the church and the church is gooing over it. But the church makes huge promises about the responsibilities it has to nurture the faith of that child, to accept it into its community. Does the church truly grasp the responsibility and opportunities they have before them?
Discipleship. Do you wonder if it is really possible to nurture, equip and help children and young people to grow as followers of Jesus?
And then we have the E word, evangelism. Do you find that children and young people just don't seem to want to know about Jesus? How do we communicate the great news about Jesus and the gospel to this generation?
Resourcing. Does your church do a lot of talking but fail to provide the support, the resources and the funds to enable ministry amongst children and young people to truly flourish?
A few moments ago we heard what children thought a good church was like and how it should be. The TNT resource has a dream for a church that is a church where
people of all ages worship together,
where discipleship happens by all and for all,
where people of any age are considered worthy of celebrating faith,
where knowing Jesus and having a relationship with him is far more important than academic knowledge,
where our relationship with God counts more than our ability to eloquently express it or to be able to find the Book of Nahum without looking in the index,
where children and young people are praying and ministering alongside those of more mature years and being prayed for and nurtured by the whole church community,
where people love God and love others above all things.
TNT would now like you to imagine what good would look like in your church context, where people of all ages are disciples and followers of Jesus together. Why not make this a reality today, not tomorrow? Ed Jones from Arise Ministries gathered a group of children and young people together for a day to explore this together. This is what they found.
Jesus called a child over and had the child stand next to him. Then he said,
I promise you this, if you don't change and become like a child, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven.
But if you're as humble as this child, you are the greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
When you welcome one of these children because of me, you welcome me.
We read in the Bible how the Lord stood beside Samuel and called out to him as he had done before. Samuel, Samuel.
I'm listening, Samuel answered. What do you want me to do?
Are children and young people really part of the church today? It's all good and well to talk about intergenerational church, all age expressions of the family of God, and how everyone has a part to play. But would it not be a lot easier to leave the children and young people be? To send them out to their activities so the main thing can take place? Some might suggest that the children and young people's time will come when they're older, wiser, more experienced and have proved themselves, earn their place in the church. But that's not today, is it?
I would describe it as I help out by being a steward and help other people when they're stuck.
The part I would play in the church is by thanking God for what I have, like my clothes and my money.
We worship the Lord at church and we respect our following prayers and we sing to the Lord.
I'm the fabric deacon's daughter, which means I help with the maintenance in the church, which benefits everyone in the church.
I think I would describe the part I play in the church is when I help packing up the chairs at the end of the service.
I help out with children's ministry because I enjoy working with children and helping them grow in the way of the Lord.
Church is exciting because in Sunday school we play a lot of games and we have a lot of fun.
Something that excites me about the church is that I learn a lot more about God and Jesus because I like learning about them.
The thing that excites me most about my church is the babies, because there are lots of them and babies are all bundles of joy and they're full of laughs and they're so easy to make other people laugh as well. If you hear a baby laugh, then it's kind of like a cute little giggle, and that's probably one of the most exciting things about church is the fact that no one's afraid to have a laugh with a baby during a sermon.
What excites me about the church is the first time I came here I was welcomed really well.
What excites me about this church is that the all-age services, because we can be here as a big church and there's the old people, the young people, babies, teenagers, and we all gather together.
Clubs because you learn about God and all what you do.
I like the fact that I come together and see all my friends that I haven't seen over the week, and I like Sunday Fright and I learn a lot. It's cool.
I enjoy feeling the Holy Spirit, usually during praise and worship. It's like when you're singing songs and stuff like that. It's really blissful to just feel God's presence.
I think the role of the church is that we spread the word and we trust in God.
I think it is to spread the good news of God and Jesus.
I think it's to spread the gospel and love and welcome all people.
I think the role of the church is that the church is supposed to be a comforting place and that a place where people feel welcome.
I think the role in our churches today is to do fun activities in Sunday school about Christianity.
I think the church should be helping us.
To tell people about the good news and to bring hope to countries and places that are less fortunate to us.
As we look at the church, we might see numerous problems, challenges and obstacles concerning our work amongst children and young people. The lack of leaders, the struggle to deliver all-age ministry, the 101 different ideas of how it should be done. The list is endless. But that doesn't mean we ignore it, we walk away, or simply put it all off till tomorrow. We believe it's about empowering children and young people to play the part God calls them to in the church right now. Your response to that might be, yes, I totally agree. But if that is what you believe, what are you going to do about it? How are you ensuring that children and young people you work amongst, that are part of your community, that God has placed on your doorstep, grow, develop and flourish as He creates us all to? Through the Today Not Tomorrow initiative, we want to stand by you. We want to support you. We want to see the church transformed for all ages, lives changed today.